the differentiation on how you interact with them. University, you don't have to necessarily know everyone, but you know you're all part of this student body. Then within accommodation, because you're seeing each other daily, you might be cooking together, you might be going to more social events.
You've chosen the course that you're on, or you're choosing like the societies you interact with. So that's sort of like a chosen community, whereas the people you live with, sort of an unchosen community.
Being in accommodation with people or being on the same course as people, even if you are interacting with them, doesn't guarantee that it is a community.
Living in a catered hall is good in theory, but in reality, you need to learn how to cook. It's like an essential life skill. It can bring you together with the other people.
Catered halls would help community, but I think the self-catered ones create a special bond between the people who share the hall.
A good part of living in halls is just hanging out in the kitchen and like running into them when you're like cooking. And if you lose that, I think you would lose a part of
coming together for meals in catered accommodation would help build community, just because it forces people to interact with other people over a set time while you eat. In my accommodation, they did put on events, but they were often not very well thought through. A film night on Friday night, but the majority of us are wanting to go out on a Friday night. I think it depends on the type of event that the accommodation organises to sort of create more of a sense of community.
If your accommodation has a WhatsApp group chat and you message, does anyone fancy go to the pub tonight? 3 or 4 people will probably say yes. And you might end up building a community through that. And if that could be encouraged somehow by the accommodation, that would probably help.
We didn't have any events to meet each other. There was no community. So I think maybe events like in the day could create community.
I chose to come to Manchester for university, with one of the main reasons being Manchester's gay village. And I feel such a massive part of the LGBT community here because there is such a strong sense of belonging.
I think a big part of it is where you come from originally, and the most friendly people all come from really rural areas. In Derby, I found it a very cultural and very interesting new place, and that made me more likely to interact with it and want to be part of the community.
I chose smaller uni because it makes me feel like I can actually get to know the people I study with, and it makes me feel a better part of the community. I prefer smaller community because of what I'm used to, and it feels more personal to me.
I think no one really interacts with anything local because at the university, everything's small, everything's close-knit, everything's personal. And then you step out into a big city and it doesn't have the same community feeling as it does at the university. I think for the first half of the year, I'd be so excited. I would think money saving and, it could be really fun. I think you go a certain point where you just need your privacy, you need some alone time, and your room kind of has to be your private alone time.
I would definitely not want to share a room with a stranger. Being lonely, there's always ways to go out and meet people, but if you don't have your own room, it's very difficult to have any kind of privacy.
I'm in a shared room right now. I picked it because of cost reasons. I'm an international student. I would rather be on campus and have a shared room. I'm willing to sacrifice a bit of my privacy to be able to actually participate in university life.